G'day my TBI family, let me take your brain to another dimension. This is ROO, and today I just want to let you in how I felt through the stages of my traumatic brain injury healing. Initially, probably year 1 to 3, 4 maybe. The first year I was basically unaware, and so I was unaware of my deficits, unaware how to articulate to myself, let alone anybody else, regarding what I was going through. Because it freaked me the fuck out. I knew something was different, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't articulate it in the simplest of English. And so basically unaware the first year before I started to be able to articulate stuff. And a lot of shit happened during that first year, especially with my family. Especially with my family, not my mum, but my father and my sister not understanding my injury, not understanding the impact. Aside from the dent in my head and my right chicken wing, that was my right arm that was really messed and missing teeth and looking like a crack addict, I looked pretty fine. I sounded pretty well, even though I couldn't articulate. I still had a decent command of the English language. I didn't slur. No, I talked too fast for sure. Kept repeating a lot of shit because I was like a broken record over and over again. However, that year 2 to 4, I literally thought, I don't want to live. But at the same time, I didn't want to die, right? So I was stuck in this purgatory, this no man's fucking land, which is the most frustrating thing one can be in, right? So I'm not the person who I thought I was, even though I couldn't articulate that. I just knew I didn't feel like Hamish. I looked like him, I sounded like him, I was showing some of the tendencies of him, and more so was trying to be like that from secondhand information. And then also I naturally had natural inclinations of Hamish. However, I didn't know, I didn't even register that I needed to be a different person, for one. But I knew that I wasn't Hamish. And I couldn't articulate that, and that was really scary. In my head, I couldn't find the words to articulate. I just knew, I had this feeling that I don't know this guy. I don't know who I am. And I remember going and looking in the mirror for 45 minutes a day with the music turned up, just staring at my reflection, going, I fucking know you, but I have no clue who you are. You're like light years away. And just mirror sessions every fucking day for years. And like I said, years 2 to 4, it was, I don't want to live, but then again, I didn't want to die either. I was too scared of dying, I was too scared of living, I was just in this no man's land, and it sucks being in the abyss. And not having the ability to A, articulate it to myself, but B, articulate it to family and friends. So I was basically left alone, trying to fend for myself, because how could I articulate which I couldn't articulate to myself? I couldn't articulate my feelings. I had these feelings. So that was a very rough place to be in, no man's land. You know, not wanting to live, not wanting to die, just existing and just going through a loop of pure fucking hell. So I understand people, whether you have a brain injury or not, I understand that place very intimately. And it's not a fun place. And I've been going through my head trying to figure out how did I get out of that place? Because I did move to a suicidal place too, right? Then it changed from I don't want to live to like I can't take this shit. I'm ready to check the fuck out and just I'm done with this shit. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I'm beyond repair. So, but how did I get out of that no man's land? And the same thing with out of wanting to kill myself. And that basically comes down to your why. And you have a series of whys. You have to grab and fucking start with a why that will get you to the next stage. You need to do something that you can grasp on, that will give you the energy, give you the motivation, give you the courage to plow through what you need to do without knowing anything. You're just blind, and you need to have faith, and that why gives you that little bit of faith. And then when you plateau and then you feel like giving up again, that's when you reach in and find another why. And it's a series of whys. It's not this all-encompassing why that you're just going to think of. I had a series of why. At first it was I wanted to get back in terms of making money, girls, and then it was surfing, and then through surfing I adjusted my nutrition. I got into training, and that I gave up cigarettes, right? So that why was super beneficial because I was a huge surfer growing up. You know, since I was 14 and I stopped bodyboarding and started standing up on the surfboard, I was like, on my bodyboard, I was like, yeah, that's it, I'm going to surf for life. And that was one part of my identity that I did not want to give up. But yeah, it's a very cold, lonely place to be existing in between two worlds. You know, and that's just one aspect of it. Then there's the other aspect of that you just want to commit suicide. And you do stupid fucking subconscious suicide, where you would just arc up and get into fights and just hope someone would fucking smash you, someone would run over you, because I didn't have the balls to fucking pull the trigger. I didn't have the balls to hurt myself, yet I did with a knife. But it was a progression of not giving a shit, and I never went and I picked a fight, never, because I'm not that type of guy. However, if someone gives me the wrong look or fucking mouths off at me, fuck it, I will go fucking crazy. I used to go crazy, where that was the subconscious suicide aspect of me, because I did not give a fuck, right? But you almost feel more alive with that one as opposed to being trapped in I don't want to live and I don't want to die either. So there's so many different layers to healing, guys, and I think it all begins with your why and your will and your determination. I'm just naturally a stubborn motherfucker, and I've been like that since a kid. I won't listen to people. I wouldn't listen to teachers. I always, everyone telling me you can't do this, I did it. Just for the sake of fucking saying I'll do it and figure it out. Did I figure it out? No, a lot of stupid shit. However, I'm really glad I did it because I got to see the other side of it and I got to test my mind, right? But it's a very taxing place to be in, and it's soul-sucking. And you need to look at all your weaponry to get going. You need to look at your why. You need to adjust your thinking. And it starts with your why, guys. Because you're not going to change your thinking if you don't have a strong enough why to get you there. So I hope this has helped, guys. I'm in the process of creating a course called Your Why and giving my examples of my why throughout my healing. Because like I said, it's not just one why you can have multiple whys. And when one why doesn't work, you fucking create another why. And the first why will get you to the second will get you to the third. All you think of is the existing why. Don't go into the future. Just think of what will get you going to spark that movement in terms of how you can shift your mental landscape to what you want. Because as much as, yes, looking at what you want, for sure, that shit works, but we're so ingrained from the time we come out of our mother's womb, we're so programmed that it is so fucking hard to do a switch like that. Yeah, focus on the right things. Fuck, everything is incremental, man. All this shit like, yeah, it's so easy, just do this. It's not. Can it be done? Of course it can be done. Just means how programmed you are. So, guys, you got to take it in steps, and you got to unprogram yourself, and you got to unknot yourself. And it's a process, and it's a long process, and especially if you don't have the guidance, you've got to figure it out yourself. Fortunately, you're watching me. Fortunately, I can give you all the components that help me heal. And I did it back to front. So I'm giving you, if I was able to look at everything that I've learned, I'm able to distill it in such a way that which component I would use first, because I did everything backwards. And years later, and everything was all over the joint. So guys, think about your why, yeah? And stay tuned, because I will be dropping your why course. Guys, I love you. You've been ROO. This is TBI Victory. This is ROO I Am. Please like, share, subscribe. Help me get the message out, guys, to somebody that needs it. And there's a shitload of people that need it. People with TBIs and their loved ones, and just people in general, guys. So please comment too. I'd like to hear back from you on what your experience when you were in it, because I know everyone goes through this place pretty much. If you got a brain injury, or even not a brain injury, but to some varying degrees, what did you do to get out of that hole? Let me know. Guys, I love you. You've been ROO'd.